A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to UBC Lunchtime News on this 28th day of May 2024. I'm Lorene Masika Kazmoto here to bring you tonight's news. Now we start off with our first headlining story this afternoon. More than 1,000 pilgrims hailing from the Mount Elgon region have commenced their journey to Namugongo from St. Austin Cathedral, Namatala in Mbale City in anticipation of Uganda's Martyrs Day on the 3rd of June this year. Led by Bernadette Miliakello, the chairperson of the Mount Elgon Pilgrims, the group articulated their purpose to beseech divine intervention in addressing the persistent calamities plaguing their region, including landslides and floods that have ravaged communities for decades. In addition to these concerns, some pilgrims voiced their aspirations for divine guidance in fostering political harmony in Uganda, particularly in anticipation of the upcoming 2026 general elections.
We pray to God that this year onwards, let the mudslides stop in our zone, mostly in Elgon zone. Our people in the mountain areas, they all suffer of mudslides, and our people down this way, we suffer with the floods. This year, our theme is to work for our people, God to protect us, so that we may be alive and we strengthen our religion.
Wentuke na mugongo, ngenda kusabira eggwanga lyaffe lino, enteekateeka y'okulonda omwaka ogujja, abantu babeere bakaakamu, balonde bulungi nga tewali kutaataaganyiza n'abantu ababayimiriddeko. Kuba kaakati olaba abantu omuntu bw'ayimirira ng'ayagala obukulu batera okubalumya n'okubakuba ttiiyaggaasi.
Mu bajuluzi munga esingi bange njenda efunanamu biziirwa byese buli kyesiisa besobola kukifuna ne kajula obona ndi ku mulundi guno ndikuuza ndi n'essuubi y'ekugana esomise baana baase kendi ni school fees mu bintu byosi byesimbanga ekole nomba weera ate wanze gulonzira.
Abantu tetwagalana, abantu tebaagala gavumenti kuba bali enguzi, bagambye ku nguzi naye ng'abantu tebakola ki, tebawulira. Era abantu abasinga obungi bali ku byawe tebali ku bya Katonda. Omuntu bw'abanga oyagala Katonda toyinza kubeeramu n'omutima ogw'okuuta abantu.
Luno lugendo basically lwakukkiriza lwakwewaayo era nga kwaya naffe nga Centenary Bank mu lugendo luno tugenda kubanga tusabira families zaffe, tusabira banka yaffe ne customers baffe.
We give financial and spiritual support to our pilgrims who move from Mbale to Namugongo. We have done this for the last 4 years.
So what we are doing right now, we are retrospecting what Christ went through on the cross, which the martyrs went through also. One of the martyrs was a little bit different from ours because they trekked and then they were burnt. So they went through fire. So we are going to feel the same pain from Mbale up to Kampala.
Now, police in Busia district are holding 4 individuals on suspicion of stealing electric wires. The detained suspects are held at Busia Central Police Station. They were apprehended following a collaborative effort by residents of Dabani Village, Dabani Sub-County, Busia district. We have the details.
Police in Busia district is holding 4 suspected electricity infrastructure vendors. The suspects were netted on a tip-off from concerned residents. According to Saubu Ali, a resident, the suspects purported to be Umeme staff dressed appropriately and requested to remove one of the supporting wires. However, their behavior raised suspicion when they attempted to disconnect a second wire. Alerted by a concerned boy, residents intervened, leading to the apprehension of the suspects identified as George Williams Mwanguzi 52, Wanyama Ivan 45, Ofiti George 46, and Masiga Robert 45. Munobitwaha, chairperson LOC2 of Dabani Parish, and Mayende Robert, another resident, were informed after the vandals had already tampered with the wires. They promptly notified Umeme staff, who confirmed that the suspects were not affiliated with the company.
Yesterday, around the areas of Yabani, and we can confirm that the vandals are not part of our staff. They are not Umeme workers. That one we can confirm.
Richard Othieno, the Busia branch manager for Umeme, affirmed that the detained individuals were not employed by Umeme and highlighted the ongoing issue of wire vandalism.
Batuse ku site n'agamba nti abantu kwabo tetubamanyi mu Umeme okujjako baali mukko ne bavaamu abo babbi bawayeezo.
Vigilant. When you see people coming to our electric poles, please report immediately to police, like the people of Daban did yesterday.
UBC Lunchtime News takes a very short break, but we return with more stories after these messages.
Sigekira mulimo gwenkola gukanikira baba customer kwa wasobuni. Timba no bwiro obukutwala sente isomero. Ati nti amukolesa enkola ya MTN mobile money. Ni migasta 10 nkaga na 5 star 8 ninteka kodi namba y'omwana genda sente ninsasola ku lunyi ntayino kuterimaniziwa koni katunga esimu kuruga mu MTN bantereire kubantereire okubanza ntakikirize nkaba amanyire bali bafere hanyuma nagenda nakakuza MTN aho nagamba ntungire esimu ino kuruga mu MTN kyamazima okuba nkabanta amanyire nti aliyo promotion hanyuma madamu akola MTN yangambira kyamazima kubasima muno mwebale muno akasente kabaire kenja kusasula school fees tamwe kujja bakasasulire akandi nja kasasulira mu bagenzi baye abatabandi mwebale muno.
Together we're unstoppable.
Ituba Uganda is here, the new licensed operator of the Uganda National Lottery. They have been appointed by the National Lottery and Gaming Regulatory Board as the official operator for a 10-year period, based on their operational excellence in other regions of Africa.
The National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board is dedicated to ensuring that the lottery is transparent, well-managed and generates substantial revenue for national projects.
Ituba Uganda was selected through a rigorous process for their proven experience, financial stability and capacity for successful lottery operations.
Ituba Uganda will utilize advanced technology and expertise to offer an unmatched gaming experience for Ugandans. All funds will support vital government initiatives such as infrastructure, education, healthcare and sports, with a special emphasis on preparing for AFCON 2027.
So, join Ituba Uganda on this journey
of changing and transforming lives.
The National Planning Authority, NPA, will host a planning conference on the formulation of the 4th National Development Plan, NDP4. The conference will take place on Wednesday, 29th May 2024, starting at 8 a.m. at the Office of the President Auditorium. The conference will be officiated by Honorable Amos Lugolobi, the Minister of State for Planning. The conference will air live on NPA YouTube and social media platforms.
And UBC TV. This message is brought to you by the National Planning Authority.
gear up, grab your running shoes and join the race for life. Run 42, 21 or 5 kilometers to equip Kisoro Hospital's very first ICU. Then, after the finish line, groove all night at the ultimate dance showdown with DJs and performers from Uganda and Kigali. Secure your sport at virungamountainmarathon.org and be a part of history. Save the date, June 1st, 2024 at Shaza Ground, Kisoro Town. Race for a cause. Run for life.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still with us this afternoon. Now in more news this afternoon, as the 3rd of June Martyrs Day draws closer, efforts to ensure fast-rate security is underway. A visit to the Namgongo Martyrs Catholic Shrine reveals that police in partnership with sister security agencies have deployed heavily in and around the site. This is in addition to the checkups at the entrance indicating that nothing is left to chance. We have more details. UBC Lunchtime News. Now, the Most Reverend Raphael Pimonyo Wokorach, designated Archbishop of Gulu Catholic Archdiocese, is slated for installation on Friday, July 12th, 2024 at St. Joseph's Cathedral in Gulu City. Appointed by His Holiness Pope Francis on March 22nd, 2024, Bishop Wokorach will assume the role of second Archbishop of Gulu since its establishment in 1999.
A central organizing committee has been established to oversee pre-event preparations and activities on the day of the installation ceremony of Most Reverend Raphael Wokorach. Father Rollins Kumakech, chairperson of the Central Organizing Committee, anticipates the participation of at least 5,000 individuals in this historic occasion.
And that's a big number, too big for the cathedral. The capacity is 2,500, sitting capacity. But I would like the media to let people know that this function, the installation of an archbishop, takes place inside the church.
Wokorach succeeds Bishop John Baptist Odama, who retired upon reaching the canonial age of 75 years after serving since his installation on April 10th, 1999. Bishop Odama now serves as the apostolic administrator of the Archdiocese of Gulu. The chairperson of the Finance Committee, Father Matthew Agwe, reports a funding requirement of 108,372,000 shillings for the event.
And finance. So the total budget is 108,372,000. The last time we checked the account, we were around 2.5 million only. And this is understandable because we wanted this activity to take place, the public communication of the activity, and then we get into raising funds.
However, only 2,500,000 shillings have been raised thus far, representing less than 30% of the total needed funds. On May 26, 1996, Bishop John Baptist Odama was ordained bishop, beginning his service in Nebi Diocese. He was appointed by His Holiness the Pope and installed as the Archbishop of Gulu Archdiocese on April 10, 1999. Odama overseeing the Diocese of Lira, Nebi and Arua.
Head teachers and directors of studies in government-aided secondary schools in Kagadi district are urging the Ministry of Education to promptly disperse another batch of textbooks and other scholastic materials for the new lower secondary curriculum, owing the significant increase in student enrollment. We have more.
Make an appeal to government to help in sensitizing the members of the community to always send their children early to school so that they don't miss. This is the new lower secondary school curriculum. With the new secondary school curriculum, we have tight schedule. The program is tight. All days are counted, and all the time we are giving activities of integration which are recorded and which are needed by UNEP. So we are making an appeal to government to provide the resources that they do give us in time.
I want to appeal to government that the habit has been very good and we invite you to carry on. However, the books are available on open market, although very expensive for the private schools.
But we are still challenged with some materials which are not enough, bearing in mind that our enrollment is a bit big. So we appeal to the government to send more materials to our school.
We are privileged with the Uganda term today, and we are seeing our students reporting in numbers, and the lessons are ongoing very well. We appeal to the parents to bring the students within this week so that our learners may not miss any lessons.
Though the enrollment has gone up, and that the high enrollment has come with challenges because now we don't have enough books because of the new, the new curriculum now. The books are not enough. The furniture in the laboratories. And now also the teachers, we have very few teachers on government. Actually out of 45 teachers, only 22 are on government. So all others are not on government.
Now in Mukono, nursing and midwifery students have raised concerns about the rampant sexual harassment and torture they endure during their training in hospitals, leading many to abandon their studies. These grievances were voiced during the 3rd annual general meeting of the Uganda National Association of Students of Nurses and Midwives held at St. Francis School of Nursing and Midwifery in Mukono.
Amidst the campaign for new leadership, students highlighted the risks they face, including a significant number abandoning medical studies, mistreatment of patients, and unprofessional conduct disregarding ethical standards. These urge the government to intervene in this situation.
Another thing is sexual harassment. We go to hospitals to work, but then when we reach there, we meet different people. mostly doctors, but then they call out you. They need you in, maybe we need signatures. We have logbooks, but when you go there to get a signature or you're requesting for a signature, they're going to ask you to give in your body, then they give you what you want.
Doreen Anko, a student from Iganga Medical College, vying for the finance minister position, emphasized her commitment to advocating for the rights of female medical students.
So we call out for the people responsible. We work in hand. The government, we call upon for the government to help us as the student nurses and midwives through the UNASNAM. That is the Ugandan National Association of Student Midwives and Nurses. We need the government to help us in this.
Winnie Kasemire, former vice president from Barara, expressed concern about the escalating abuse of patients in hospitals if the government fails to intervene.
If mistreatment of students when they are still in training has stopped, because various cases have been handled at UNASNAM because of mistreatment, and we are glad that we always stand up for our students because we vowed to do so. So I would request that before we start claiming Basa or Abada the climax, let us always try to handle students well, because if I'm trained well with the hospitality, there is no way I'll turn to be bad at the end of the day.
Edwin Andraka, a finance manager, underscored the association's role in educating students about their rights and improving their earning potential despite the challenges. He called for government support for organizations advocating for people's rights.
And into the international scene, with only a few days left before South Africa's highly contested May 29th national elections, political parties are crisscrossing the country in the last-minute attempt to lure voters. South Africa faces multiple challenges, and political parties have drawn long lists of promises to find solutions to voters' needs. Now, a report from Johannesburg looks at the issues and how political parties are offering to solve them. Take a look.
South Africa's political parties are out in full force in their final campaign push ahead of the elections. The ruling African National Congress, or ANC, which has led the government for the past 30 years, still dominates on the campaign trail. President Cyril Ramaphosa is using his government's track record to drum up support.
Our economy in size has, since 1994, has grown 3 times, and the rate of poverty has also decreased, it has come down.
But the ANC has been weakened in part because of Umkhonto weSizwe, or MK, the party that former President Jacob Zuma leads. Many of his supporters are abandoning the ANC to an extent some experts say could mean Nelson Mandela's party sinks below 50% of the national vote for the first time. The country's biggest opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, or DA, is promising to halt the surge in crime. It's also pledging to address the country's economic and infrastructure woes if it is voted into power.
The DA's key priorities during the 2024 to 2029 term will be to, 1, create 2 million new jobs for South Africans. 2, to end load shedding in South Africa and end water shedding.
The Economic Freedom Fighters, the EFF, led by former ANC youth leader Julius Malema, is targeting young South Africans. The party is promising free education and greater economic freedom for all South Africans.
that the people of Haute, in Soweto and Mamioti, you waited for too long. Freedom is coming tomorrow. South Africa, your freedom is coming tomorrow. The EFF will deliver freedom in our lifetime.
30 years after apartheid ended, many communities say they have yet to experience the fruits of democracy and are not convinced the elections will solve their problems. This community in Kalfontein, east of Johannesburg, has no houses, no sanitation, and no electricity. Families have to share these outside toilets, leaving 13-year-old Anele Ngumalo worried and frustrated.
The problem of this toilet, you are using this toilet with many people, others they got disease, and you are all using this toilet.
With dozens of political parties on the national ballot, plus the parties contesting only provincial races and independent candidates, come the 29th of May, South Africa's 27.7 registered million voters will be spoiled for choice. Tuso Kumalo for VOA News, Johannesburg.
Now, while on his official visit to the United States, Kenyan President William Ruto spoke to the media on a wide range of issues, including his country's participation in AGOA as well as the planned security mission in Haiti.
AGOA is working pretty well, even in its current form. Last year, for example, Kenya exported $544 million, close to 70-80 billion worth of goods to the United States, quota-free, duty-free. It is a window that gives us opportunity to expand our job creation facilities in our special economic zones. I think last year we added 12,000 jobs under this program, and I am very happy with the outcome of my conversation, both at the Hill and at the White House. And I want to thank President Biden for the support that he has given for the renewal of AGOA, which is not going to be just a Kenyan facility. It is an African facility that will support the whole continent, access market for our products so that we can create jobs back at home. We also discussed the bilateral strategic investment, trade and investment partnership agreement, which again, we've made very useful progress.
The U.S. has reaffirmed its support for Kenyan government in sending or deploying troops to Haiti. But U.S. and major other countries have refrained from sending their troops to Haiti. Back home, there's an active case in court in regards to this deployment. The same court has termed this as unconstitutional and illegal. Mr. President, why are you still determined in sending troops to Haiti?
Three things. Number one, the deployment of our security officers to Haiti has been endorsed by Cabinet. Both houses of Parliament have ratified. We have met all international requirements. And in fact, we have complied with the very court order you are referring to. The court asked us to have an agreement signed between Kenya and Haiti, specifically to facilitate this deployment. The Prime Minister of Haiti traveled to Kenya, and we witnessed jointly the signing of that agreement that now paves way and in compliance with the directions of the court. And beyond that, I have also asked the Transition Presidential Council in Haiti, the new arrangement there, to ratify and to confirm that they recognize the agreement that was signed between Kenya and witnessed by the former Prime Minister and myself. And I have it in writing that they confirm that the current administration recognizes that agreement, and it is on that basis that we will be deploying our troops, and also in compliance with the UN regulations and UN requirements under the UN peacekeeping effort. So we are very clear, and I am very clear in my mind, that Kenya has satisfied all legal, constitutional, and international obligations to facilitate the deployment of this police contingent.
And with that, we come to the end of UBC Lunchtime News. Thank you so much for your company. Do enjoy much more of UBC Television's programming. I'm Lorene Masika Kazimoto. Good afternoon.